Alright, hi people. Ninja's right here. This is my first Vanguard video on my channel because I do a lot of speedruns if you do know me. If you're usual and you don't know what's going on, then don't worry about it. If you like Vanguard and you clicked on it, oh great. Good job. Alright, so I figured set 7 just got revealed entirety like yesterday, but I was busy yesterday, so figure grab a couple of my friends, we'll do a set review of it. Because the set looks interesting for the most part. Because we were just waiting for commons. What?
It looks better than the last two sets, in my opinion.
Yeah. We're entering a brand new format. I mean, Fire's Question touched on most of it, but this is the first main set we're getting in the G-Guard format.
Yeah, so a bunch of G-Guards are coming out. That's going to be nice. Alright, so I'm Paul, and I've done quite a bit. I've top 4 the ARG Circuit Series. I won a Can Car Fight Points Series event. A state championship. I think that's it. Alright.
Alright, I guess I'll go next. I'm Denzel. I have a YouTube channel, Black Guy Senpai. I had at the first ARG event that they held Vanguard at, I got 4th. I've gotten, and then from then on out, any event I go to, I just top 8 at. So I'm the top 8 king. And I organize I organize like final turn cups and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right, I'm Wes. I'm Darren. I go by the YouTube name of Lord Redux. I post shitty videos whenever I feel like. I've gotten various tops over the course of my Vanguard career. I've been playing for about 4 years now. I got second place at a regional qualifier for Bushy Road. I've gotten several top 8s at ARG events.
Alright, let's get started. So, we're going to start with the Generation Rares and go down to the Commons, because I'm excited for the Commons. I'm very, very excited. I love Commons in every single set, because they're normally better than the foils.
For the most part, yeah. Some Commons will surprise you. Yeah,
it's the Commons that make the deck work. So, alright, we'll start with Sunrise Ray, Radiant Sword, Gugrit. Most of the rares, the foils have been revealed already, so we already know most of these, but we'll go through them. Alright, so this is a Gold Stride.
Big Gold Boy.
Big Gold Boys. So GB2. GB2 Unite. Canvas 1, Soul Blast 2. This guy gets +5 for each of your rear guards, and choose 5 of your rear guards to get +5. Why is that not once per turn?
Because golds don't have much else. Like, okay.
There's only so much soul you can Soul Blast.
Yeah, but like when we get down to the other units, you'll see that like there's a bunch of golds that soul charge now. Like they have a really good stand trigger that we're gonna touch on later, so I won't go into that. But it soul charges. There's a grade 1 that soul charges and draws a card, so essentially it gives you fuel for that. But like I like this card because of the fact that it's not once per turn. Because you can give your Vanguard +50 and you can give your rear guard +10.
Oh man,
that's pretty crazy. But like, it comes to a point where you have to think: is all that power, all that extra power, really necessary?
No, but didn't you do that with No CL when you were playing against me once?
Well, I had to. The no CL deck is different because I have to make sure I kill you.
And the costs aren't Canvas 1, Soul Blast 2.
And I can stand those. You can't stand your Vanguard after it becomes like 70k.
Yeah, but you can stand rear guards with stand triggers, and the deck's gonna run stand triggers.
That's true too.
Alright, so
if you don't, that's bad.
Alright, so where's this going? Good or bad?
I'd say it's pretty decent.
I want to put it in the decent column.
Well, that sucks. There's no decent column, which is which is it.
Right,
we're gonna break it down, good or evil. So, is it horrible or is it playable?
I'd say playable because it doesn't need a Gugrit heart. You can splash it in. You can splash it and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I guess the 10k columns are pretty nice. I guess.
Yeah, they are pretty nice, but
not plus 10k columns. It's plus 10k per unit if you do it twice.
That's true.
Yeah, so some other decks that aren't Gugrit can potentially do it more than once a turn, like Aggravate deck.
All the other strides that Go Paladins have.
They're all bad.
This is probably the best one they've gotten so far.
Yeah, that's not saying a lot, but it is what it is.
I can't necessarily say if this will put goats on the board or not.
No, it's not.
No.
But it's definitely a nice thing for them to have. So I'd say it's a pretty good card.
Yeah. That's fine. The Unite's not hard to get because during main phase, so you just slap some guys down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, next up, Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon defeat Flare Dragon.
Ooh.
What a name.
Before we even get into this, I just want to say that this card looks amazing as Secret Generation Rare.
Yes,
Yeah.
it has a beautiful foiling, Secret G-Rare.
It looks ridiculous. It looks twice as thick as a normal card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Dipping in some gold paint.
Yeah. Alright, so this is a G guard. Nobody thought it was going to be a G guard, but... Alright, so it's count plus 1. Put 2 grade 3 or greater Flame Dragons from your drop zone back to the bottom of your deck. During the battle, your Vanguard Overlord was attacked by another Vanguard. When it's placed on Guardian Circle, you can pay the cost and retire all your opponent's rear guards in the back row. So it doesn't target. I'm not a fan of this card.
Like,
Let's go over pros and cons.
okay.
So first, as a pretty low cost, Counter Blast 1, and you get to recycle 2 grade 3 or greater Flame Dragons for your drop zone at the deck. And the Cross Legend deck, that's really good. Because you have more targets to search for, to go into, to keep using your skills. This card also gets over resist units. Like, if your opponent has a bunch of stuff you can't touch normally in the back row, it'll just, get rid of all that for you. It hits a lot of really defensive decks. Well, Angel Feathers is specific, because a lot of them like to throw their Broken Hearts into the back row, so they don't get hit by anything. This will just take care of that in one full swoop. But any good card, well, not any good card, but this card in specific has a lot of drawbacks. It's really underwhelming for one. You're just its skill is only activated when your Vanguard is attacked by another Vanguard. So if they're swinging at you with big rear guards first, with big boosters, they're going to get the full effects of that, and you're not going to be able to really stop it. But yeah, it's
not generic. That's the problem
it's
I
not
have.
generic. Like in the Overlord deck, you do a lot of retiring. You do a lot of control. This card doesn't necessarily make that any better. It just gives you another thing you can do, I guess.
This is like the easiest card to play around.
Yeah, that too.
Like, you could be playing... If you're playing against a deck like some kind of really bad Aquaforce deck that uses rear guards before Vanguard, what are you doing with that? Grand Blue, because they always attack last.
Well, no, like even then, like you could be playing a good deck like Saint Guard. Saint Guard can get around this.
Yeah, like they can
Easy.
go the Lou stuff and then the Blaster Blade stuff, and attack their Vanguard last because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because it's not Vanguard on Vanguard.
Yeah, it's
And if your opponent's smart, they're gonna have Flogels back there, so they can just get crits back to their deck.
yeah, this is not what I was hoping for in a G guard, and it doesn't even gain any guard either. So like, it doesn't even help you in the long run. Like if you're about to die, this is not the card you want to go into.
Essentially, like it kind of does because it makes your opponent's Vanguard, like when they swing with their Vanguard, if they're dumb, they're gonna boost, and then like let's say their power is 31 for some reason, just a random number, they're gonna lose that 7k or that 5k or whatever because it's no longer boosting. It's not on the board anymore, so it's gonna make it a little bit easier to guard.
Yeah, but it's still just a 15k shield on a stride, so if you just have this out, it's still not even a 1 to pass. You still have to put cards from your hand down. It just kind of guarantees you can put a 10 for 2 to pass, really.
Yeah.
And
Like, at that point, I'd rather be using Screw.
Yeah, this doesn't guard against, like, a power and crit Vanguard. Like, this isn't going to save you against Gilded Ray.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah, but Gilded Rape is a different kind of beast.
Yeah, I understand it's the complete package, power crits guard restriction, but still, like, yeah.
Yeah, like I am like I want to like I just want to skip to the good or bad part because because like all right, you two already touched on everything, and like I was gonna do a pros and cons, and Darren already touched that. So like I want to call this card bad, but not because of the reasons that you guys listed. Because I was lied to by Bushywood. They said this was going to be a fucking stride.
Yeah, that's the biggest heartbreak.
Yeah, like as soon as I read this, I remember we were all sitting together, and like I was like, "Oh yeah, man! Oh shit, that's really weird wording for when you say that you attack your opponent's Vanguard." I'm just like,
That's a
Like,
really
wait,
weird. Why does this stride have 15k shield? Like, come on.
because like it was card of the, I remember it was card of the day, and we were all at where were we?
McDonald's,
We
I
were at
think.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
I
was
was
Red
reading, and I was like,
Bull.
oh, yeah, and I was like, and I saw the text before the picture, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I scrolled down, and I saw green, and I'm like, shit. Well, whatever. That might be a tree.
I was so excited. I'm one
Yeah.
of the few Kagura players, well, big Overlord boys, and I was so looking forward to this card, and it was
Yeah.
really, really a letdown.
Yeah. I don't play Kagura that often, and I can tell you I don't like this card, because right now in my hand I'm holding Flame Emperor, Dragon King, Astal, Orb Dragon. It gets 5k shield. It's much better than this card. I'm gonna say it's bad.
I'm
Yeah.
also gonna say it's bad.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, if you run more than like one or
yeah.
half of,
It's
or half.
pretty okay as a one-of, because there might come a situation where you're like, maybe I'll just blow up the back row, because, I feel like it.
And plus,
Yeah.
we want to save people from writing this down on a deck list sheet, so this is one.
Yeah, it's a pretty long name.
This is one you could probably avoid.
This, like, I don't know which one of the GRs is actually gonna, or secret generation rares is gonna be cheaper, because like,
Not this one. I can tell you that.
like this one, because it has something to do with overlords. I think it's gonna be hyped for a little bit upon release.
Yeah. So pretty much, we lost out on the Overlord stride for the set. So.
Yeah. Like I don't even know if they gave us an overlord crit, because I didn't even look at all the set.
Well, we'll see.
I glanced at the Kagura stuff, which
We'll
unfortunately
see.
let me down a lot.
We'll see. All right. Next up, Black Seraph Gabrielle. This is one of the earliest ones that were revealed, so we've seen this, and we were all, spoiler alert, disappointed. But it was in it was in good taste to make this card bad because the stand trigger has bad card design. So let's just go right into it. All right. So it's a stride. Once per turn, Generation Break 2, Counterblast 1, flip one of her up. Until the end of the turn, this unit gets Auto Vanguard Circle. During the battle phase, when your card is put into your damage zone, you can choose up to 2 units, they get +2. And Rescue on your Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. Choose 2 cards from your damage zone, heal them. Choose one of your Vanguards, deal 2 damage with triggers and all.
Okay. Like, if this did not say, at the end of the battle that you do that, then that would be amazing. Like, I understand, like, you could put this stuff on rear guards, but, like, I'm not sure, because I'm not, like, a huge Angel Feather player. But do they have a Silent Tom?
Angel Feathers? No, they do not.
Then this doesn't matter. I don't care. This doesn't matter. Like, yeah, like, you get to do technically 5 drive checks to put on your rear guards, which will be all high power. Semi high power, because if you're playing this in a no CL deck, you might get away with it. But if you're playing this in a straight up Gabriel deck, which you shouldn't be doing, then it's going to be mediocre power that still can be G guarded, that can still be perfect guarded, or just hard guarded if you're desperate if they get a crit off of this thing. I expect, because of this card, the price of Black Slice Harut to go up from like $1 to like maybe $2.
Or maybe 5 at least.
She's already 250. I think she's
250?
probably going to go up to 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Because of this card, yeah, I agree with that.
It's one of the only cards that can actually trigger this, honestly, because during the battle phase, you have to put a card into your damage zone.
There's a few rescue cards that can trigger it.
Alright, we'll look at those.
But my biggest con with this card is one simple phrase. It only gets a skill during the battle phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Which
at the
means
end of the battle. It's at the end of the battle that it attacked. It's not even like, oh, hey, one of your rear guards attacked, then this skill procs. No, it's just at the end of the battle that this unit attacked.
Yeah, because like
yes, that's for that skill. But I'm talking about for your rear guards get +2 power. That is the biggest letdown in this card effect.
They have to though, because the stand trigger would.
I understand, but as Angel Feathers were before the set, most of their interactions came during the main phase. That's when you did most of your swapping, most of your effects, most of your shenanigans. This card does not let you get any advantage off of doing that during your main phase. And that is a real disappointment. I understand the stand trigger is the biggest clause to making this card like, well, we can't let you do that anymore. But then they just went and put the stand trigger on the eliminate list, so
Yeah.
Now, okay, let's say that they did a ban like they did on Conroe and Barco from being used as a starter. Like, let's just say they legitimately just said, "Fuck this, put this card to 1." Do you think that they would have changed the text on this card and said like just whenever?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
then it's
I honestly think they wouldn't have even included that. If they would have, if the limited list would have came out first, this card would be a good card.
This card is an example of Bushiroad is finally acknowledging bad card design. So this card was bad on purpose, I'd say.
I'd say so too.
I am not a fan of this card. Like during battle phase thing, there are like so limited amount of cards to trigger this effect, and the rescue thing, like being at the end of the battle, it pretty much forces you to not play stand triggers in this deck to guarantee power.
Because I do know that.
But you can resolve the stand triggers off those too, which is okay. But that's the same thing. I'm dumb. That's the same thing. But still, I just like you can't get crits on it. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't if you do play crits, you can't do it with this.
You can't get the crits on your Vanguard.
No.
Get them on your rear guards, sure.
And you're not gonna get that much power from her first skill. It's just not gonna happen. This is so disappointing.
It was a real heartbreak. I had to let my Angel Feather, not specifically just because this card was bad, but I let my Angel Feather.
Literally the day before this was revealed.
No, he just sold it the day before the limited list was revealed.
I sold it the day before the limited list was revealed.
Yeah, which
this card, I was looking forward to this card, and I was like, oh, the effect only procs during the battle phase. My interactions are dead now.
We all had
do anything.
We all had suspicions of a GB3 skill that would heal one, just because that's what the usual quote unquote cross strides do, where they have an effect and then a GB3 effect, and this doesn't have it.
Well, the only redeeming thing that I can think of is some of the cards that are in this set for the red tech skill is it's just during the battle phase when your card is put in the damage zone. A lot of them heal something and then you do a damage check. And then there's even some that are oh, okay, I went to the damage zone, or I went to the drop zone from the damage zone, superior call, and then draw a card.
Yeah.
There are some that are like that in this set. I know there's a grade 2 and a grade 1 like that, and I think they're both rares. But that's not enough.
Yeah, but in saying that, you're forced to play a rescue deck. You're not okay. You're not playing a no CL deck. You're not playing a celestial deck. You're playing a rescue deck, which we don't know if is going to be better than celestials or the other one.
Though there is one good thing to note about this card.
Mm-hmm.
The effect of when cards are put into your damage zone, you give this card and your rear guard +2. That sticks to your Vanguard. Which means if you're doing any other interactions and calling more guys to the board, those guys do get the power boost.
Well, it's only 2 units. You can choose your Vanguard once and a rear guard once, and then a 2 rear guards, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's not a specific Broken Heart card. All right, good or bad?
I'm gonna say, I don't want to say good, but I don't want to say bad. I think we need a middle column. This is probably.
I don't think we do.
Okay.
I'm saying straight up bad, but it's bad on purpose. So
I'm gonna say it's bad.
Yeah,
it's intentionally bad.
I want to say it's the lower half of okay. It's barely enough to make it okay.
And when we see its price, it'll be bad by far because people are gonna hype. People are gonna hype this card for the wrong reasons.
Yep.
Yeah. This next card.
Her biggest thing with her is the art looks kind of nice.
Of course, boobs sell Vanguard, so
yeah, and it's purple.
It's boob fight Vanguard, so whatever.
All right, so
she looks kind of gothic, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. All right, so our first grade 2, Night Springs Light Paramore.
I love this card.
Not Paramore the band, but Paramore the unit. All right, so here we go. Grade 2, Rear Guard Unite, not GB1. This gets +2. Okay. Yeah, it's during either press turn. That's kind of cute. So it's 11k Rear Guard. Generation Break 1, combo +1 when it's placed on Rear Guard. You pay the cost. Look at top 3 cards of your deck. Call a card into the same Rear Guard slot, in the same column, I should say, as this unit. Put the rest on the bottom. Can you call over this with the card you call?
Yes, because that is still in the same column. Paul, please. I love this fucking card.
It doesn't say call to an open Rear Guard circle.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
got some bad cards on the board that you don't want to keep there, you can just,
Yeah.
And this card says, "Fuck you to all those people that are hyping up Quill at fucking $25."
Yeah, stop doing that. Golds have been built to be budget because they're like bad roll paladins, so they should be budget on purpose because they have a start deck now. And all their cards are being fucking expensive. Hopefully this guy's cheap.
Yeah, it's
Like-
keeping people they made the start deck to get more people in the game, but then we hype up all the cards that you can use to make the start deck a little bit better. No one's gonna get those cards, and no one's gonna be able to really enjoy the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I have my chaos deck, but I still want to play like golds because it's fun, and it was my first plan, just because it was fun, and like I want to play G era golds, and G era golds as a deck. Once they get this support, I think they won't be tier 1, but they'll be like really fucking close because of Circle Jerk of Friendship.
I think this is solid. I haven't seen most of this stuff for the golds in the set, so I'm just going by a generic card. This could be played in anything, but I'm gonna say Liberators because Liberators have Agravale. So like if you're playing any kind of Gold Paladin deck, this should probably be in here. And
Yeah, like
It's a good card.
even though it's in the same column, so you could realistically miss on like a grade 1 or a grade 0, it's fine. It's the most generic gold card I've ever seen in my entire life. Just a card that calls another card and gets power. It's just Gold Paladin's been doing it forever. It is what it is.
He
Paul,
also
if you-
he instantly puts you into your Unite effect because you're calling him and then you're calling another card. He's
Okay,
instant
so-
Unite.
dumb idea. You're playing Black Alfred, right? He's already on the board. You strode last turn. You're at GV1, right?
Okay.
Use Black Alfred's skill. Put him back to the top of the deck. You get Blaster Blade out from this.
Oh yeah, you get to big power on a Monarch, dude. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty silly.
Stupid. I'll
But-
never do that.
But better question is why you're just not playing Agavale in the same spot.
Shut up.
Alright, so I think this card should not have been a triple rare, but they've been making a lot of triple rare grade 2s that shouldn't have been. So
It's a new thing.
I'll say it's
Trying it out.
good because it's the simplest thing in Gold Paladins.
Yeah, it's like sometimes simple is better. Don't go with all this convoluted. If your opponent's Vanguard attacks your Vanguard with Overlord in his name, blow up the back row.
Yeah,
Try to make
sometimes
it
you don't
good.
need all that extra text to make a good card, man.
Yeah, so
I'd say it's good.
yeah, I'll go with good
Right
too.
there. Yeah, so this is our first good card. Yay!
No, second good card. We got
Second.
Cougar it.
Yeah, Gugur was the other one.
Okay.
Oh, got this thing's name. Night of Spring's Light, Paramore.
Ooh, we're
Yeah.
coming up on one of my favorite cards.
Alright,
Oh.
next up. Oh, Christ. Supreme Heavenly Emperor Dragon, Dragonic Blade Master Titan. Alright, triple
This
rare
guy.
for Kagero.
Teen Titans go.
Alright, this guy is a Stride. He looks really cool, actually. Blaze on Vanguard Rearguard. So, Blaze is new keyword for Kagero. At the beginning of each of your attack. That's poorly worded. If the number of rear guards you have is greater than your opponent's, your Vanguard becomes blazing. So, at any point, just you swing and you have more guys out, you blaze. Anything that has blaze turns on blaze. So, once per turn,
Yep.
Generation Break 2, Combat 1, flip anything up in your extra deck. Choose up to the same number of your opponent's rear guards, equal to the number face up of this guy, in your G zone, and retire him. Until the end of this turn, this gets the one skill of, if you're in blazing, gets 1 crit. So, I've been saying this for a while now. I was wondering where all the Kagero strats with crits are, and like the cross had like no finish because there's a control deck, but you still need finishes like Saint Blow, Ragnar Clock, stuff like that. Even though they don't restrict guard, having the crit like 1 point in the game will win you the game, and Kagero didn't have it except for the Steel Dragon Stride. So I'm just happy they have a thing with a crit. That's all I care about for this card.
I'm really excited about this card. It has some really nice interactions. It's definitely a card that I want to play in my Overlord deck. I mean, it's good for a Blade Master deck too, but specifically for me, I want to play it in an Overlord. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's a fun card. It's not the Stride I was looking for, because unfortunately, Defeat Flare was going to be a Stride I was looking for. But this guy, he makes up for it. He makes up for it to me.
When this card was revealed, like the full effect, I was like, oh man, I want to build a Blade Master deck now. Like, and I was like, oh shit, you don't need a Blade Master heart. You could, like, if you really want to, you could build, with the exception of this card, you could build a budget Kagero deck, and it actually would be decent with this card, because all you gotta do is get 2 legend decks, get the fucking common guy that's coming in this set to be a backup grade 3, and then
You don't
get
need 2 legend
4
decks.
this.
You only need 1.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you get 4. Oh yeah, that's right. You do get 4 of the legend.
Yeah, you get 4 legend, 4
Well,
Novel, 2 ace, 2
The only
vortex.
thing you only get 2 of is the ace and
Yeah.
vortex. Which you
Oh,
don't, for most situations, you don't need more than 2 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pick up you some Fighters Collection strides, and you're good to fucking go.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
thing, my issue with this card is it retires only like 1 unit and then 2 and 3, so it takes a long time to build up any kind of retiring. But I guess the Blade Master support helps.
No, go into Vortex first. Flip a copy of him up. Your second stride, you go into him. You retire 3.
Flip a copy of himself.
Oh, okay.
You retire 2.
Yeah, you have 2 space up.
It's
Yeah.
face up in the G zone. Oh fuck.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you go into him again at any point in the game. You
You
retire
flip up
3.
anything.
yeah, that's fine. I just have bad memories of Mustafa with this card because like Mustafa only retired the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's fine just because the crit. Like he might as well just be a crit.
The crit is pretty nice. It's pretty beautiful. I'm very,
Yes.
very happy with
People
this
are not gonna remember this as a crit.
card. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I will. But
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
opponent wants to show up and be like, I'm just swinging for 26 with 1 damage. Then I'm gonna be like, are you sure?
Yeah. And like the best part about this is like he doesn't need rear guards to do shit.
Yeah.
Which Kagero in general don't really rely on their rear guards, but like that's just like a really good like the selling point
This
for me for
card
this card is the
Does
crit.
actually rely on its rear guards
How
because
so?
you have to have more rigors than your opponent to be blazing.
Yeah, but
You're gonna retire all their shit.
yeah, you retire the
Yes.
stuff before the blazing, so I think that's a pretty good plus on this card. But it's so simple. I don't think this card is gonna be expensive.
No, it's not. It's probably gonna be like a $10 card most.
Yeah, it'll be a cheap Kagero. Hopefully, if the community doesn't fuck it up, it'll be a cheap Kagero stride that that players want to come up and play the legend deck. They can throw stuff in here, and this will be one of the cards. So I'm gonna say it's good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm definitely in that. Yeah, I'm in that boat. It's definitely a good card.
Supreme, Heavenly,
Ooh.
Emperor, Dragon, Gonic, Blade, Master, Titan. What a
Yeah,
fucking
imagine
name.
writing that on your deck list.
I feel sorry
Oh.
for Kagero players at regionals. All right, next up, our first
Oh,
Dimension
here
Police
comes the
card.
hype.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
hype this
here's
card.
the hype.
Super Cosmic Hero Cross Gallop. First Dimension Police triple rare. Stride. Burst. Generation Break 2, kind of +1, flip anything up, face up. When this attacks Vanguard, if your opponent's if this unit's power is 35 or greater, you can pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets another drive check. And if this unit's power is 40,000 or more, all your rear guards in the front get +4 for each face up of this guy in your G zone. So pretty much, someone else explain this card. I really don't wanna.
Okay, all right, check this out. I got this. Basically, you go into one stride, and then you go into this stride, flip it face up the first time, and then your rear guard. Okay, when you go into this guy, like you're gonna stride over Grand Gallop, so your power is already gonna be at 30,000. And then you're going to rest your starter that you get from this set. Your power is 35, so you get your extra drive check. And then you have another rear guard that's on place. It's Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, give another +4. Then you have another rear guard that's like, hey, let's just give +4 for no fucking reason. So you're swinging at 42. And then you give your rear guards +4 because you only have one of him flip face up. And then, in turn, one of those other rear guards can, again, counterblast 1 with your Vanguard +4. So, all right, if you do that, if you do all those interactions that I just said, you're going to be swinging for 46 quad drive, and hopefully you'll have Commander Laurel out.
This card.
Oh, I don't think anybody realized I said this, but it's when this unit attacks a Vanguard, so you're not getting
Yes,
a quad
I-
drive check on a rear guard. Thank God that had that restriction.
Okay, so what? You get to drive check 7 cards.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Okay, so you explained like a full board of stuff you need to resolve this thing's
No,
effect.
but you just at best you need 3 rear guards to do all that.
That have,
I mean, at worst.
that have the specific effects. I
Yeah.
don't think this card is good at all because I think most Dimensional Police cards are better than Laurel, and like
Yeah,
you need
well-
at least 3 cards. You need at least
One of
two-
them being your starter, Paul.
Yeah.
One of them being your starter.
Yeah, I just don't think it does that much. A one drive check doesn't warrant this guy's effect. I think the adding effects to rearguard and the power to rearguard is much better than the quad drive.
Yeah, but then like
Honestly, me too.
if you go into this guy a second time, your rear guards are going to get plus because there'll be 2 of them face up in the stride zone, then the third, so you'll get plus 12 to your front row rear
You'll
guards.
get plus 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully
Well, that's if you flip a cross scout the first time and a cross scout the second time.
And if your opponent lived after like that point in the game, because that's also like third stride, barring G guards.
So if you G guard, and then you go straight into this guy, holy shit!
I think this card could have been a lot more, but also I wasn't expecting this effect at all because I thought that we were gonna get another one of those, like I said before, with Gabrielle, the GB3 effect on the second. So like Victor, I thought we were gonna get the GB3 as the effect.
The GB3 for the GB2 for Grand Gallop is get another drive check.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were gonna get. I thought we were gonna get a GB3 on the stride as another drive check, but we got a totally different card, so I was caught off guard by that.
But we got the drive check with this card.
Yeah, but I'm saying as like a Victor style card where the GB3 is plus 5.
He's looking for an additional GB3 effect.
Yeah, I thought we were getting a card that we could try and do first.
Actually, in all 3 cases of Gabrielle, Titan, and Cross Gallop, there's still a second skill other than the initial skill.
Yeah.
It's just not GB3 skill anymore, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, GB3 technically was just GB2.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. I do like how this card can flip anything up, so realistically you can only just use the one, and you won't have to worry about another one in your extra deck, so you just wouldn't get the second skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this thing does not need to have Grand Gallop as its heart or Cosmic Hero as its heart.
That's another one of those cards.
In any generic Dimensional Police deck.
Or in a Cray Elemental deck.
If that was a thing.
Yeah. This has a weird interaction with Dimensional Robos. You can turn up one of your Dimensional Robo strides and Die Earth and have a crit immediately.
Yeah. Like, you can just go into this first, because he's counterblast 1 and just do the thing.
Yeah. But there could have been a lot more with this card.
Yeah, but okay, imagine if they did a lot more with this card. Do you think that it would be fair, the interactions with this card in Laurel?
Well, Laurel shouldn't have existed like past last year. It should not be around. It should be limited. So we're deciding to take that into account. But I guess if they're to keep making cards to make around Laurel, then they could just say so. Because it's kind of what this feels like with that first line of text of when this Unitex Vanguard, they're just making it around Laurel.
A lot of the cards in the set, they're trying to go around certain problem cards. So they're designing the text to water down so you can't really get the full benefit of using those problem cards with these cards. They're trying to make you indirectly sway away from using them. They want players to think, I don't need to use this card to play a good card. I will just play this card. I don't need to play that card. And they think that that's going to fix the problem.
It's not. It's not. And like they are having like childlike dreams of thinking that, oh yeah, if I do this, then they won't do that.
It's kind of how like Cat Butler has just stopped seeing play. That's the only case of an unfair card that stopped seeing play that's fair now. It's really not fair. It's not gonna happen with Laurel. Like as long as they make strides, that's still double drive checks. People are gonna play Laurel.
As long as they allow D-Police players to fill up their board, they're not going to stop playing Laurel.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which is a hint. Bushiroad you need to limit Laurel is a bad card design as of strides. So I'm gonna say this is a bad card, honestly. I was expecting a hell of a lot more, and that didn't happen.
I think taking into account the fact that they're trying to play around Laurel, that this is a good card. That's the only reason why I want to say it, because you're not going to give us an in-between. I think it's a high end of okay, but...
There are better strides. Let's just say that.
There are, yeah. Well, not for D-Police. Like, there's Heavy Duke.
No.
There's Heavy Duke, but he's Metal Board specific.
Yeah, Heavy Duke is
the
top
good. He's Dimension Police specific.
Yeah, this is a good, generic, Dimensional Robo card.
Dimension Police.
Well, Dimensional Police, sorry.
Same thing.
Whatever. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this card is a good card.
All right.
It's a really good generic, like Denzel said. The +4 buffs are pretty cool. They can hit you out of nowhere. Like Cosmic Heroes as a clan, they're just +4s everywhere. Big numbers all the time. Big number boys. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd say it's a good card.
Also, did anybody notice that they're like stopped doing +5 power ups? They're starting to do +4s like Great Nature now.
Well, no, that's what Great Nature's gimmick is. It's been that for the longest time. Same as Dimension Police.
No, I'm saying for D Police.
Yeah, DB
Well,
Police.
it's
They've
not
done
just
plus.
Dimension Police.
No, they've done
There's
plus
other
fours
clans
forever.
that have +4s.
Yeah,
well.
they've done +4s forever, like the Enigma stuff and like.
They started off with +4s because +4 or
It turned on
+4
Dayusha.
is one less than a tier up, which is what a +5
Yeah.
is, because that's one more card to guard with if you give something +5.
It turned on Dayusha, the original Dayusha from set 4. It turned that on. So there's the 4s. Yeah, and it turns on the Enigma and Ride Chain. So pretty much that Cosmic Beak dude from set whoever the fuck, the Campus 2 give +4, that's where it started.
Set 3.
Whatever. Alright.
Original set 3.
So Super Cosmic Hero, Cross Gallop. By the way, it is Cross because it's a crossover of Grand Gallop. So if anyone sees that X and a dash, it's Cross.
Nah, man.
No, man, it's the X, guys.
It's just the cross. It's .x.
Alright, so the grade 2 of Dimension Police, Triple Rare Cosmic Hero Grand Revolver.
Yeah.
Alright, this guy is blue.
I
Alright,
like this guy.
Burst, grade 2. Rear guard, once per turn, combat 1. If your Vanguard's power is 15 or greater, that's not hard. Just tried. Choose up to one of your other rear guards. That and this gets +4. And if your Vanguard's power is 30,000 or more, until the end of the turn, this unit gets auto rear guard when its unit attacks, hits a Vanguard, countercharge 2, and a resist. So you can just turn on your Vanguard's 30.
The resist skill is his own thing, though.
Yeah, he's just a straight up resist card, which is pretty good.
This is Dimensional Police's first card with resist keyword.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
That took forever. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I'm okay with this card. I like anything that gives this and that +4 because there was a secret unit that was the mate for Purgation Breath that gave this and that +4 in Legion. So this dude's pretty cool, giving this to be attacker and another guy to be an attacker. And you just put it right on your Vanguard and turn your Vanguard on.
His skill is pretty easy to get off, because being 15 or greater is really easy to do if you just stride. Or if you get a single +4 to your non-stride Vanguard.
No, like, if you're playing, like, you should be playing Grand Gallop in a Cosmic Hero deck, you stride, you get that +4 from Grand Gallop's skill, so automatically you get everything.
Well, if you stride, then your power is 26, which means you're already there.
Well, yeah, and then Grand Gallop skill +4.
Well, yeah, that's just an additional thing you can do.
Yeah, but
that's like sprinkles on your cake.
Yeah, but you have to remember you have to be 15 or more to even use this skill. So if you didn't stride, then you probably should remember to use an effect first and then this.
Well, use your starter skill then.
Yeah, use a starter.
+4.
Yeah, use a starter and then do that. I think it's okay. I mean, a resist unit for Dimension Police is pretty helpful. It gives them a little advantage against retiring and lock.
Yeah.
Because like that's a bad matchup. Chaos versus a Laurel deck.
Oh yes.
I'm not really a fan of it. I don't care about the when it hits countercharge just because it's not gonna hit. So that effect is worthless. I just like giving the 4 and 4 or something. So this guy can act on his own.
Well, I like this card. Yeah, I like him for what he is.
Yeah, and generic.
It's very easy to enable.
Yeah,
and
this guy's
easy
generic.
to enable makes him a consistent 13k attacker.
Yeah.
Who also gets something else +4.
And just being generic is another good plus.
Yeah.
Because like you could do this in metal boards, and that shit's awesome.
Yeah. That's another card that can help you get heavy Duke.
If you're in Legion, then you're 15 or greater.
Yeah.
So that would enable it as well.
Yeah, just 2 more
I'd
cards.
say it's a good card.
Yeah, I'd say it's good too.
Yeah. I'm definitely there with you. I'm right with it.
Alright, Cosmic Hero Grand Revolver. Yeah, okay. Next up.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, one of the first cards revealed for set 7, Wings of Reincarnation, Blazing Ragey. I have a lot to say about this card, so I'll just go right into it. Alright, so it's a grade 3. Grade 3, 11k. Soul Blast 15 on Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks Vanguard, if you have Ragey in your soul, you can pay the cost and get +15 and +2 damage. And when this is in the soul, you can combat 1, discard 3. At the end of your battle, your grade 3 Bladewing Vanguard, not named this, did not hit your opponent's Vanguard. You can ride this as stand. I thought this card was good, played with it, realized it is pretty fucking bad. The Sullivan deck is nowhere near fast, and you need to be on Sullivan at all points. This guy does not... It doesn't warrant going into this guy at any turn when you're on Sullivan, because you need to constantly be able to guard, and the points where you want to Soul Blast 15 to put them all right back in the deck almost can't happen, because those were at the climax of the games where your opponent's going in their GB3 strides, and they're probably going to murder you. And if you ever do go into this, like to try to avoid that turn, it's not going to happen. Like, being like, oh, I'm not going to stride, I'm a Sullivan, and then I'm going to go into this and then get the big giant power and crits. There's no guard restriction, so the +2 crit literally doesn't matter. And it's... Putting the 15 back in the deck for the turn after, it doesn't make this card any good. This is super disappointing. In theory, it should be good. It's in testing, it is not good. There's no point in a game where you want a Sullivan back into this guy.
I agree. There's very limited interactions you can get with this guy. The only good thing I want to say is about him, he gives your Ragey deck a kind of early game. Because if you ride the 3 first and you have this guy in Soul, you are guaranteed a restand if your attack doesn't hit.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah.
Because you have no other restrictions keeping you from doing that other than him being in your Soul and your attack not hitting. And having an open counterblast. Which is, it's cool in its own way. But because he's limited to your Great 3 Vanguard with Blade Wing in its name, you cannot resolve his effect if you're striding.
And it's a -1 in that case because you discard 3 cards.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with both of you, but he does do one thing that neither of you have touched on. He raised the prices of my Blade Wing Ragey. So, if anybody wants to buy a playset of Blade Wing Rageys,
for fuck's sake.
No, I don't want fuck's sake. I want $25. So,
the only thing this card does is Soul Blast 15 for Sullivan. That's literally it.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. He...
But you need Ragey and Soul.
Yeah.
That hurts a lot, because that means you have to play Ragey. And if you ride Ragey, I don't know what you're going to do. You're probably going to lose that game. Actually, if you ride...
You're full charge Ragey, and then you're going to...
Hopefully.
I don't know, man.
You'll ride Ragey. You'll have this Ragey on your rearguard circle. You'll throw 3 more of those from your deck into your Soul, and then you'll just try to restand a bunch.
Yeah, and this card is missing the normal Blade Wing second effect, where you ride, you target a rearguard, 3 more from the deck into the Soul.
He doesn't help you enable your Soul charging.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
And it hurts so much you have to have Ragey in the Soul to resolve its first effect, and you can't tell me you're going to ride this over Sullivan, so I'm going to say it's a bad card.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a bad card. Yeah, I'm agree. It's because, a lot of good cards for clans nowadays, they help enable the clan's gimmick. The Fighters Collection guy for Gold Paladins, he helps enable Unite. The D-Police Grade 2 that we just reviewed, he helps enable Burst, just for doing dumb shit. Pretty much nothing. This card doesn't do anything for that.
Yeah. A dark regular card, it doesn't soul charge. Why?
It just does not help the clan. It helps the Blade Wing deck if you like Blade Wing Ragey specifically.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
And he's a triple rare. Why?
I'm not saying that Blade Wing deck is bad. I'm just saying this card is bad.
Nah, the Blade Wing deck is good. This card is bad and it's not for it. This is a Blade Wing Ragey specific deck. So it should have been a rare. It shouldn't have been a triple rare. So disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Yeah. I'm excited for these next 2 cards. These two next.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for this card. So Interdimensional Dragon, Bind Time Dragon. This guy was also pretty early on revealed. He's also in English. Looks pretty cool. Big giant.
English.
Big giant.
He was part of the day a few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. Looks pretty good.
Hopefully he comes in SP. I hope he comes in SP.
He does, for sure.
He should be. Alright, so Generation Break 2, Counter Blast 2, Soul Blast 1, flip one of these guys up for your G-Zone. When his unit attacks, you can pay the cost. Choose one or more of your rear guards, bind them face up, this gets +10 in a crit, so you don't have to do just multiple, you can do just one and get the +10 in the crit. For each card in your buy zone, your opponent chooses one of their rear guards and puts on the bottom of their deck in any order, and if you have a Gear, Beast, Heart card, Counter Charge 2, Soul Charge 2, and the only Gear, Beast, Grade 3s I'm pretty sure are the Chronos Command thing and Chrono Jet Tiger. or Chrono,
Well, no,
whatever.
there's probably like some commons and rares, but like, oh my god, this thing is so good.
Yeah, I'll let you have this.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry. But yeah, this thing is just like, I'm a huge Gear Chronicle fan. I love time and space shit, and like this thing, it's a better Ragnarok dragon because Ragnarok is just like, oh hey, counterblast 1, flip a copy up, and then get +10 in a crit. Yeah, it can
He
be
doesn't get
this.
+10.
No, just gets a crit.
Oh
And
yeah,
garbage.
Ragnarok. See, Ragnarok still sucks. But you could still perfect guard it. You can perfect guard this too, but like they lose units on their board, and it's like, oh hey, what's the cost of this? Unflip 1 and then soul charge 2 and then yeah, that's pretty
Counterblast
much
2,
it.
Soul Blast 1, and then you counter charge 2, Soul Charge 2 immediately afterwards.
No. It's soul charge 1 and flip 1 copy of this face up. That's the cost of this card.
No, it's
Soul
Counterblast,
Blast.
Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1.
I'm saying essentially from because the cost is counterblast 2 with the end of the turn or end of the skill. If you have a Gear Beast Heart, that counterblast 2 is negated.
Yeah.
The Soul Blast 1 is just the Soul Blast 1 is countered by the Soul Charge
1.
2.
It just becomes a Soul Charge 1, flip this card face up, and you lose a rear guard.
Yeah, that's it. At best, you lose 1 rear guard, and then there's a guy that's like, "Hey, am I bound? All right, Superior, call me."
Yep.
There is there's the other stuff from like the last set where if you bind it, you like either spin a dude or +5 to a dude.
Yeah, and then you still have the stand trigger. You still have things like there's the one guy that, hey, rest it. He can't stand until the end of the next turn, but then you still rewind one of your opponent's rear guards.
Yeah, we'll go to him.
You do that with this, he still gets to come back and you get to do it again.
Yeah, I like this card because any dead card, quote unquote dead cards in your hand, you can put on the board and turn them into something. Like not really, it doesn't time leap, but you could turn the stand trigger into another card in your hand. You could turn the grade 1s into either power or retiring. So it's if you're playing a time leap deck, you can still turn on stuff, and you don't need a specific heart for this.
That's true.
It's just if you have a Gear Beast, this helps out a lot. Which most likely you're gonna have a Gear Beast card. If you don't, no.
Well, no, I think it's fine. I'm not a fan of generic soul charging and random soul charging in a Gear Chronicle deck because most of the cards in the deck do something together. So I'd be fine with playing in a Chrono Jet deck. If you need to get stuff out of your hand, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm. I think this card has some really cool interactions. Like, there's a lot of old cards that I want to go digging through that will have really great interactions. Like, off the top of my head, there's this really cool grade 2 chick that came out in set 5, I believe. It has an effect. It's an 8K grade 2. When you bind it, you can draw 2 cards. And I thought that card was really good. And with this card, that's a really good play, in my opinion.
Well, like, most of the I don't know, like most of the stuff that I've seen from this set for Gears, because I did look at all the Gear stuff for this. Well, I looked at all the triples and doubles for this set for Gears, and it's like they're all like main phase stuff. There's none that are really battle phase stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're all X skills, no autos.
So yeah, you get your value out of the cards because it's in battle phase, so you at least can tap them first.
Yeah, like I still think that this card is an amazing card. Like I love it. Like if you're still running Ragnarok, replace it with this. Easy. Like go buy SPs. Go make it your own generation rare.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not the absolute biggest fan of this card because it's hard to find 2 spots in your extra deck for it because most of the new Gear stuff can flip anything else up like Phoenix. But I'm gonna say it's a good card anyways, just because it gets power and a crit, and if you play the right deck, it doesn't have a cost.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's a good card. It has a lot of potential, in my opinion. There's a lot of silly things you can do.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Next up, we got where are we? All right, Chrono Fang Tiger. This is, I think most people were looking forward to this before it was revealed, and it's also in English now.
Yeah,
This
it's
is also
also
of the day.
yes, and it was also SP. I know for sure this is SP.
Yeah, it's in the SP
I
pack.
believe all the triple rares in this set come SP.
Yeah, they're in the clan pack thing.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. J Break 2 in your Vanguard Circle. When you're paying for Stride, you can bind the card instead, and it gets +3, so you can bind just triggers out of your hand and stuff like that. And when it's placed on Vanguard Circle, you can just that's a card. Bind a card face up, and choose one of your opponent's rear guards. Spins it back with a -2 grade, so 2s turn into 0s, 3s turn into 1s, 1s are gone forever, and 0s are gone forever.
Yeah.
I don't like that effect because it's not on stride. If it was on stride, I'd say it's okay, but I wouldn't use this effect anyways because going -1 for spinning an opponent's unit, I don't care. I do like striding for anything. Big thing with gears is you gotta run like more than 5 grade 3s and 4 stride enablers, so stride enablers don't turn into anything. So you could now, if realistically, you could not play stride enablers and have grade 1s that do something.
Yeah.
But this is not Chrono Jet. That's why I'm not a fan of this card. But which is fine because they make a new archetype, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and like right now, the Gear Beast thing, subtype, I guess you want to call it, it doesn't have much because this is a set that is debuting in. It's not like in set G1 where Gear Chronicle just debuted and they had to give it a bunch of stuff so it could be quote unquote playable because Gears still weren't playable when they first came out. They didn't get playable until like I think what set 2, set 3 ish.
I'd say set 2, but it wasn't a Chrono Jet deck at that point.
Yeah, it wasn't a Chrono Jet deck. And then like when they got next stage, that was 4 sets later, essentially 9 months. It took 9 months for Gears to be like, all right, this is a good deck now.
Yeah, because they figured out that like when Link Joker came out in set 12, they were immediately playable, and then set 13 they were the best deck. So I guess they wanted to slow down with Gears. So this Gear Beast stuff may take a while to get going.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think this is a worthwhile investment. So like if you can pick up on the cheats, pick up all the SPs for these. Like I'm gonna definitely do that. Like it's
Don't
gonna be
tell
hyped
them to
up.
control the market, man.
Man,
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Don't buy this card. Wink, wink. No, but like I think it's good because like to me this card is a better Blaster Dark Diablo in my opinion. Because
I think so too.
Because it doesn't have the on stride. If you strode a specific card, you get to blow something up, but it has you get the +2 to your grades. You bind it, and then that's
3.
part of your gimmick.
+3.
Right, +3. Sorry, and then you bind it, which is gonna come in handy later for later sets when you get more Gear Chronicle, Gear Beast set support. I think like they're gonna have a restander for Chrono Fang, and it's gonna be like, hey, do you have X amount of cards bound? Yes, restand. Like it has to be an absurd number though. It has to be like somewhere like 10
13.
or some.
I'm gonna say 13 just because that's what Igor's win condition is.
Oh my goodness.
Delete a reference.
Oh god, no.
I think this card's good.
Yeah.
He constantly fuels you being able to stride every turn. Because doesn't matter what you draw, after GB2, you can always go into another stride.
Yeah.
Which is the beautiful part.
Just getting that first stride is the only part you gotta worry about.
Yeah, I think this card is solid, but it's hard. I think it's gonna be hard to get to GB2 without a G card with this card, since nothing that doesn't have Chrono Jet as a specific Vanguard doesn't flip one up yet.
Well,
Warp Drive does.
Yeah,
does?
Warp Drive.
Alright.
Warp Drive flips up a Warp Drive,
Yeah.
or Warp Drive flips up anything.
I'm gonna say this card's bad, but we'll have to wait and see. But I do like, if you're not playing draw triggers in Gears now, then you really should be playing this deck because your draw triggers are stride enablers now. So so we'll say it's good. It'll be better in the future.
I'll say
think
it's
this
good,
card
and
is
it'll
good.
be great in the future.
Yeah, I agree with that.